Greetings. Is the global village going to be a digital prison? Our decentralized, beautiful collection of edible food forests? With people doing things locally, making decisions locally? Or will it be a highly controlled digital prison with data centers controlling everything and using up most of the water and energy for their needs and highly dictating what you do as a human, and ending the notion of sovereign nations and democratic constitutional republics? It's over in the face of digital takeover. You can't coexist. Digital dictatorship and democracy, they don't go together. Democracy is not fighting right now, not doing anything. The tech bros are taking over, they're doing everything. Tech bros winning, totally tech bro time. So we're getting data centers foisted on us faster than we need them. And there's no local community building anywhere that I see. I don't see anything here in Oakland that's open to me, open to everyone, that's saying we're going to, in this zone, we're going to keep a library open late, and we're going to build an organic garden and grow some corn here. And that there's no zone like that happening here in Oakland. There's lots of specific grant money going to specific things. There's lots of really super smart, hyper articulate people in our cafes here in Oakland talking about things. Mainly, they're not. They don't use the word charter school so much anymore, but they are talking about programs, private temporary programs that they're going to be funding and are seeking development for these programs, and they're going to always be inclusive and diverse and do everything perfect and nice. They don't really accomplish very many goals, as far as I can tell. It's always really symbolic. They put a lot of money into doing stuff, and then it never really translates into something that's open for the public. It's always targets a specific demographic that it wants to help, or something like that. So there's nothing for the whole community. And there's no common space, Creative Commons, something else. Common space, the commons would be like parks that are open, libraries, third space, this thing called third space where you can just hang out. There's no economic activity happening maybe there. You're just hanging out there. No one's making a sale, no one's charging you rent, nothing's going on. Well, that's all. There's nothing like that anymore. Nothing in Oakland like that. Everything's private. Cool things are happening. There's lots of really smart, beautiful people in Farley's Cafe and at the Awaken Cafe and at these cafes. And then they're just talking about these great ideas. Most of them are based on skin tone and ethnicity and stuff like that. There's not a lot that's trying to address the whole population or trying to do something that's going to be there for the whole community, or that would last one round of lobbying by real estate agents. The real estate lobby is the thing that runs Oakland. Everybody knows it. That's why we have empty condo towers. Empty condo towers got built super rapidly during COVID. That's one reason you should have been able to recognize that this was a psychological operation, COVID. Because locally here in Oakland, while there was just, my business was shut down, where I had to go and work with 3 or 4 other guys in a really spaced out in a warehouse, could have no problem for the disease. I think we all got it in 2019 anyway. But anyway, I worked our business was shut down, couldn't do our business, just nope, no more. Not essential. A lot of businesses got shut down. But somehow the condo building was going great guns. And the guys building the condos, guess what? They weren't wearing masks. That's right at the height of the real push for everybody has to keep to wear the mask and 10 days to stop the spread and 2 weeks to stop the spread. Right at the height of that, while they had all of us locked indoors, they were building condominiums like crazy here in Oakland. Like there was just they just had to get them up. One on 14th Street, on Alice and 14th, just all different locations here in Oakland where we already have lots of condominiums. See those giant glass things? That one over there, back way down there? Yeah, it's half empty. So all this sort of pied à terre, all this kind of investment real estate property has opened up here while we're having a homeless crisis. It's insane. And no one in these cafes, the smart people that are talking now, are actually talking really directly about tackling homelessness or any of that, right? There are tech bro people who are proposing, let's just take the homeless people and just force them into housing and make them do labor. So, slavery. Just force you in somewhere, separated from your loved one or your dog or whatever. So if you have a beloved dog out on the street and you're homeless, see, that's one of the reasons why homelessness persists. Because you can be with who you want to be with. You can do what you want to do out on the street. When you go into these shelters, a lot of times there's really strict rules, or they're trying to convert you to a religion, or something else is going on in those shelter systems, or there's a thug running it trying to sell you drugs. That's usually the thing. Sometimes it's a hyper-religious, sometimes it's something else. But if you have to go somewhere and you have a dog that you love, and that's the only thing you love is that dog, but you can't have the dog if you go in the shelter system. Dog gets put to sleep or dog gets donated or something. You can't have the dog. See, because the society we live in has now cruelly decided that we have to criminalize poverty and treat poor people like horrible criminals, and that they are no longer allowed to be with loved ones. A lot of times when they put people in the shelter system, they separate them from their families. You can't go in the women go here, men go there, da da da. See, that's horrible. It's horrible. Fight for better, fight for more, build your own community solutions. Local community solutions. We're still losing, we're still not winning, we're still not doing any of that. There are some really nice foundations and some really great grant people and some nice young people talking about this in our cafes, but none of them are doing anything real that's translated into something that's open to the whole community and building a greater awareness of Oakland, a greater sense of health and happiness here in Oakland. Instead, we have abandoned people. There's a guy who's been on our streets hostile. He's crazy. He's psychotic. He's hearing voices. He's talking to voices. He's violent. He needs help. He's not getting help for years. It goes on for years. He comes in front of my apartment, grabs a mattress, throws it down, sleeps on that mattress. Then every now and then he's kind of violent towards some female from my building or something, intimidates people. But again, we can't get anything done about this man. This man can't get any help. We just end up living with him over the years, just putting up with him. And it's just something that's kind of low-level annoyance. I was out on the street the other day and he said he's going to kick my face in, right? So I'm just out there kind of doing my thing, and I'm kind of being low-level threatened by this half-crazed person. So it always keeps you on edge. And the streets are just kind of filled with hostile, half-crazed, out of prison, back on prison, going back at parole system, in and out, no. Never taken care of. If you're a working class person in this society and you have to go drive around for miles to park your car or something like that, you're going to end up encountering lots of really impoverished people that are even more in a state of crisis than you are. So now you got the low level of dregs of society competing, fighting against each other, looking at each other, blaming each other, blaming the drugs that the poor people are on, and not ever going to go after the CIA drug dealers because they're too doopy idiot. Doopy idiot. That's the thing that's happened right now. But a new grant will come up, a new person will get some funding, and oh man, the crisis. We're talking about it in the abstract now, this crisis. And we've got abstract solutions that we're all talking about. And we feel really good about the solutions we're talking about. And we're getting the funding for it. And on the street, it's just total shit. Nothing's happening. Total shit, total fail. Progressive fail. Bay Area, fail. Progressive fail. Sorry. Not inclusive, not nice. Not doing anything, just failing, being controlled by real estate and symbolic nothing, ruined by identity, just ruined. It's over. Where's the organic garden in Oakland that I can go and plant a corn plant in right now? Still not there. Black Panther Museum, it's getting millions of dollars, doing great, awesome. Museum to the past, doing great. Teachers, so still some really smart teachers around talking about the past and organizing about the past, what's going on in the past. That's really cool. There's no labor. It's kind of like working class labor movement today. There's all these kind of SEIU, little pockets of highly funded SEIU people working on identity and education and but there's no like radical labor movement, class consciousness. None of that's happening. Attempt to organize it, Tesla, it's over. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. You gotta do basics, get back to the roots, get back to, having some say in your community. Right now, the global globalization, and digitalization is what's winning. And local community control that's inclusive and open and nice, I don't see that. That's not happening anywhere. Public education that's saying no to the learning management system, that's saying no to centralized control structures. Where is that public education that's successfully saying no to the learning management system, is implementing small classroom sizes, lots of contact with teachers and books, and real things, and putting their fucking tablets in the trash? Where is that school? Or putting them in a Faraday bag until the students leave. Lock them up in a Faraday closet and then let them have them when they leave. Where is that school? Yeah, I don't know. I'm not seeing it. Rich people do it. Rich people do keep their kids off of the tablets. They limit screen time. Rich people limit screen time for their kids. Rich people that know. We don't, plebes don't do it. Plebes are completely vulnerable. They don't limit screen time at all. They let the screen babysit their kids. All right. Good luck.